Oh, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Gerrard, on the show tonight. It's Bridgeman and Albert, a couple of legends. How we doing, boys? Don't know, John, been at one.
Can I just say a big good evening to you two guys in the panel here? Massive good evening to the boys in the lobby and to all the Rangers fans that are listening in all over the world. Welcome to Rangers Radio.
How you doing, Albert?
Sorry about that, Ox.
That's all right.
Mute. Bridge. So how are you, Ox? How are you, Bridge?
I'm excellent, pal. Thank you very much.
I'm good, Bridge. I'm good, Albert. I'm good, mate. You?
I'm good, mate. Aye, fantastic. Great. 55 and all that. Nice. I'm parting that tonight, right enough.
Oh, it was your views. I don't know if I've heard for you. Have we heard for you since we won the league? Seems a long time ago.
No.
Go on then.
I've kept
Get it off your chest.
Oh, it's the same as everybody else. It's just fantastic. But now I'm starting to prioritise. I've pigeonholed it the celebrations will be brought right back out later on. But for the moment, it's put away now. I'm just leaving that lying now. Then getting over this UEFA Cup. Getting prioritising it. We won the league. That's that done. Tick. Put it in the box. Next thing's the UEFA Cup. Let's see if we can go with that. Next one's the Scottish Cup. Let's get that one. And the last one's go unbeaten in the season, which is not that important to me anyway.
So the point you're trying to make that the biggest game this week's tomorrow night?
Oh, definitely. It's got a shadow of doubt. That game on Sunday's an irrelevance. Just don't let it even play in your mind. It's an irrelevance. They're an irrelevance. We're playing for bigger things now. The new and in the future. They are totally an irrelevance to me now. We're just going to stamp them, put them back in their place, keep them there, and move on to greater, better things.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Bridgeman.
Oh, that makes me very, very keen. Very keen. I love that. Well said. Oh, Bear, well said. I like that. That's confidence for you. I'm really happy. I'm happy to hear that. I think that no matter what, we should be from here until next week, let's put it that way, before when we know what's going to be happening with the split. We should be very careful what we say about anyone. Keep our mouth shut, play our cards close to our chest, and accept whatever comes through, because it is our fate, and that's the truth. Tomorrow night, massive game, biggest game for probably a decade now for Rangers. This is huge. This is going to take us into the last eight. When was the last time we were in the last eight?
2008.
10, 11 years ago?
13 years ago, mate.
13 years ago? There you go. So it's a long time anyway. And this manager we've got here, he seems to be pulling everything out of the hat and managing to equal some records and create new ones himself, you know. I think it's just wonderful. And we just want to back him. Let him do the talking and the fighting. Let him do it all, and we just back him all the way. For me, 100%.
He's created more records than the Beatles, hasn't he, Albert?
It's true, mate. It's true. It's the records that, for me, as I've said, you look at records at the end of the season, and then you look back to see what kind of season you've had. Take the plaudits for winning the league, which was the top priority. That's achieved. That's nice. That's tucked away, done in record time. That will be looked at the end of the season. Steve Davis record at the end of the... You look at all these records at the end of the season and then reflect on them. They actually tell you how good a team you really are. Now, I know we're a special team. I just know that's a special team because they're going to go into greater things this season, next season, for the next few years. I'm telling you guys, he's not seen anything yet with this team. This team is capable, really capable.
Yeah. Right, I'll tell you what we'll do. We plan, Bridgeman.
Go on, buddy. Go on.
We're going to hear through our manager, Stephen Gerrard, MBE, and then we'll open the phone lines. Does that sound like a plan?
Wonderful for me, bud.
Are you happy with that, Albert?
Oh, I like a plan. I'm happy with that, mate.
Don't always come with proficient, but we have a go at them quite a lot. Right, okay. Get yourselves on mute and we can hear from our manager, Stephen George Gerrard.
The question for Czech TV. What are your predictions for tomorrow match after the draw 1-1 and after your recent victory?
I'm not really in a position to make predictions. That's not what I do. I think that's for other people to predict and have an opinion on this game. It's my job to prepare the team in the best possible way. We're ready for another tough game, another big challenge. Slavia are a fantastic team, really well organised. So it's going to be a fantastic 90 minutes and one that we're really looking forward to. So the only prediction I've got is that we've got a real tough game ahead.
Morning, Stephen.
Good morning.
Wondering, positive-wise from the game on Thursday night, what are you taking from that match into tomorrow's game?
I think our game plan was to try and set it up for Ibrox. We realised it was a really tough place to go. They've got a fantastic home record domestically and in Europe as well. So I think the positive thing for us is we've set it up for Ibrox. We've got an away goal and we've given ourselves a real good opportunity. Having said that, we believe we're going to have to perform an awful lot better to get through and to qualify, because we know that Slavia are going to come and give everything they've got. So we believe it's really set up for a good 50-50 tie.
Morning, Stephen. I just wonder if you could give us an update on Ryan Jack, and then also obviously we did the Scotland squad yesterday. So I was wondering if you'll speak to Steve Clarke about managing game time in the same way that you've been doing recently.
I've had a chat with Steve Clarke. Obviously that'll remain private. We've been in touch over Ryan and a few other players for some time now. But I'm not going to divulge what gets said on the conversations. I don't think that's fair or respectful. Ryan won't be involved tomorrow night. That's all you guys need to know right now. And we'll make a decision on the weekend when we need to, but he'll be ruled out for tomorrow's game.
Can I just ask about Steve Clarke as well, Stephen? He mentioned Nathan Patterson yesterday and how he was sort of taking a patient approach with Nathan. He's obviously only played a handful of team games. Is that the right approach from your perspective, just to take that, not to rush him into that next step of his career too soon?
Nathan's certainly a name that we discussed. I think I can give you that. Steve will obviously be really sensible, like we will, in terms of managing Nathan. He's got a really bright future, got a lot of potential. But at the same time, we've got to think of the big picture with Nathan. He's doing extremely well. Still really raw, still needs a lot of work. We're obviously both aware of that. And at some point, I've got every confidence that he will become part of that setup. But certainly from Steve's point of view, my point of view, there's certainly no rush on that. But I'm sure he's watching him extremely close, and he's had a real good, strong few weeks in terms of announcing himself, at this level. And he's obviously got a big 4 or 5 days coming up, the kid. So we'll give him every bit of support he needs. He's doing a good job, and the future's extremely bright for the kid.
What are the key skills we need to see from the team tomorrow night to get the job done? What are the main quality you want to see from the squad?
I think we have to handle the ball. I think we have to show that we're Rangers, that we're a good team, that we're a strong team at home, and really play with belief and confidence. I felt certainly in the opening 20-30 minutes in the first leg we were organised, we had a good shape about us, but when we were regaining the ball or we were getting the ball back, we never kept it for long enough periods, and we turned it over too quick and too cheap. So I want us to really come out the blocks quicker tomorrow. We've had a better preparation going into this game, which everyone will be aware of, but I want us to really show that we can play both sides of the game, really tough. I want Slavia to really feel us. I want us to be aggressive, but at the same time, we have to show that we're a good team. We've got good players, international players that can handle the ball at this level, because we never done that for the first 20-30 minutes. Once we started to show that we can keep the ball for longer periods, we got some better periods of success in the game in the first leg. So it'll be interesting if we can find our level on both sides of the game, and that'll give us a better chance.
Hi, Stephen. I wonder what you made of the way in which Slavia dealt with the second leg against Leicester, and what warnings that presents for your players tomorrow.
I don't think we need any warning. I think to come up against a team at this stage of this competition, you've got to have respect. Both legs, home and away. We've played against this team now for 90 minutes, so if anything, we've only got even more respect for them, because you could see quite clearly they play at a real high intensity. They've got good players that can hurt you if you give them time and space. And they're a very fit, powerful team, almost German-like in terms of how they go about it. So we're under no illusions, and we've got every bit of respect for this team, but we've got no fear as well. We're a team that are here because we deserve to be here. We're here because we're a good team. We've got international players ourselves, really strong home record, and everyone's looking forward to this game with excitement and belief that if we find our level and our best, we believe it could be enough. We've watched the Leicester game. Fantastic result for them to go to Leicester. For anyone and get a result, the form they're in, the manager they've got is a big achievement. But this is a different game. Ibrox is different. And we want to give this game everything we've got.
Hi Stephen, obviously you've got a chance to improve on last year's performance by reaching the last 8. I know you're not one to put tags on it, but where does this game rank as a one-off in terms of the biggest since you've been at the club?
It's right up there, at the top of the most important games we've faced and played in. To the opportunity to achieve the last 8 from where the club was when I first came in is a chance to achieve something that is monumental. So we want to go and empty everything we've got into this game, and we don't have to worry about anything else that's on the horizon after it. We just want to treat this game in isolation and go and give it our best and see where it takes us. If we're in that draw, it'll be a fantastic achievement for the players.
And Stephen, the coefficient system is quite complex, but you seem to be close to getting an automatic group stage place for the Champions League for next season. It could be achieved with a win tomorrow night. Is that extra incentive for you?
Not for the players or myself in terms of the next 90 minutes. We're obviously well aware of that situation. We want to do everything we can for the country and to try and give ourselves the best chance in the future. Of course we do, but the players just need to be focused on the game plan and the task, and worry about what's really in front of us, and everything else will take care of itself. If we can find our best performance and it gives us a positive result, everything else will take care of itself.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
He's just a class act, Albert, isn't he?
He really is. We keep saying it, but it's true. He is. He just knows how to handle them, and he doesn't get overexcited, and he doesn't underplay anything. He's spot on every single time. He's a joy to listen. He really is, and he talks with authority, and he talks with intelligence and knowledge. You know what I mean? Excellent, 100%.
Yeah. Bridgeman, we say it all the time, but class act.
DK, different class. He's just absolutely fantastic, and I love him to bits. And I think most Rangers fans feel the exact same as me. Love him to bits. He's just brilliant. And I hope the boy goes on from strength to strength and strength to strength, because he's carrying us and we're going to help him. We'll try to push him forward. Brilliant stuff. Great speaker.
I might have picked it up, Brian, but I don't think Ryan Jack's making these 2 games, is he? I don't think.
Nah, it doesn't sound like it. And by the way, we have to be a team in a squad and get on with it. We have to just, okay, he's not there, just get on with it. And a fan base, of course,
Mm-hmm. See that boy Jack, he needs to be careful now. I mean, that clap's going to ruin his career if he's not careful. He really, really needs to be careful now. Because if he gets out of them and he puts that in the rank training regime, or he even tries to play him when he's no fit, he could ruin that boy's Rangers career. He really could. And if I was Jack, personally, I'd be sitting going, name it international football. My body can't handle international football and Premiership football. Because at the end of the day, Rangers pay his wages, as we all know, and we're coming up to a really important part of the season for the club, for the history, for the fans. So I'd be saying to yourself, you get your priorities right, son. You start thinking clever. And if it takes you to go to the Scotland squad and say, look, I'm over here because you called me up, but I'm not playing, and just tell him straight, because he done it the last time with the boy, and that's what set that boy back for the last 2 seasons. So you can't have him being a liability to Rangers now, and that's what he's sort of developing into, because he's missing too many games now.
He's missed, believe it or not, he's missed 70 games through injury since he joined us, mate.
That's way too many. So he's got to start thinking his Rangers career, and if he wants to play into his early 30s, maybe even mid 30s, he really needs to start taking care of himself now, and that means giving up international football.
I'd like to think that I'll give him the Euros if he's fit, mate, and then I think you're right. Yeah. I wouldn't even give him the Euros. I would say no. Only because they might never get a chance again, but I get where you're coming from after that. Enough's enough, you know. It's the way he also plays the game as well, Paul Bear, yeah? He leaves nothing out.
He's wholehearted. He's all in. He's all in, mate. That's part of his problem. That is his game. You can't change his game. That is who he is. He's all in.
You know. I hope whatever he's got can get sorted and he can move on, because he's an asset to our squad. Bridgeman?
I've rated Ryan Jack very highly. I actually thought he could, in fact, have stepped into the captain's role, because he was captain Aberdeen for a wee while when he was playing for them. And I thought Ryan Jack was a cracking player. And what a steal. We got him for virtually nothing. Actually nothing, I should say. Actually nothing. Yeah, so just brilliant. A great player for us. And, I doubt very much, and I say this in all honesty, I doubt very much that he'll ever leave Rangers. I think he's found the place where he wants to play his football. And you're right, he has had a bit of a torrid time with injuries, a lot of the time there, and a lot of them were targeted. When he played against Aberdeen, they were taking turns at him constantly. And he ended up getting red carded against them twice, I think. So I've got loads of admiration for the boy, loads of it.
He's got to think of something in Bridge. He's got to think that Gerrard likes him a lot to know, but if he keeps this up, he'll turn into a liability, and Gerrard won't tolerate it. He'll not tolerate it. He'll be ruthless. He'll be gone.
I don't think Gerrard suffers fools gladly, does he? You know,
no.
That's the impression you get, mate. He'll give you a chance and give you a gypsies, and then it's up to you, innit?
Oh, and he's already come out openly and said that he admires Jack and he likes him as a player and a person, and that's all great and dandy. But you don't get away with it. You know, at Rangers, you'll not get away with, I want to finish my career at Rangers. Well, you'll need to produce something to stay at Rangers. You just don't get the free ride anymore.
Bridgeman?
Yeah, Albert's absolutely right. You've got to be able to fit in and fit in properly the way the manager wants you to play and how he wants you to appear. And I think Ryan Jack's got the ability to do both. I think he's a smashing player. He just needs to. I know he wants to play for Scotland. I know he does. And I think everybody else knows he wants to play for Scotland. Were he me, or were if I him, should I say, I would not, no way would I go and play for Scotland. No way. So again, absolutely nothing for it. Nothing. When all you're going to do is get booed. And that's the worst thing that can happen to a player. I wouldn't do it. I think his career is he's going to do very well at Rangers. If he watches what he's doing, the manager will keep him in for sure. As long as he keeps playing, like, you know.
Absolutely, you're right.
He's getting to his peak. This is his peak of his career, isn't he? You know.
Yeah. Absolutely, mate. He's don't get him to misunderstand what I'm saying. I like Jack. I think he's a good player. I do like him, but I also see the big weakness in him, and the big weakness is his body. Because if he can't play for Rangers, well, he's not good to me, mate. Because I don't support Scotland. I don't care if he plays for Scotland. I don't want him to play for. I don't want Patterson to play for Scotland. I don't want any Rangers player to play for Scotland. But that's my preference. And when they play for Scotland, all they're doing for me is putting my team at risk. That's all they're doing for me. I don't look at it any other way than that way.
Okay. You know, I've been saying similar words for quite a while. People know how I feel. I'm so anti-SFA. It's just not real. And SPFA, I think they're a couple of disgraceful organisations, totally partial in many ways, and it's all one way. That's what partial means, of course.
I can't believe you're saying that. You see the officials for the game at the weekend? I can't.
It's like Christmas card list, isn't it? It's like Christmas card list. Who would you like to be at your Christmas? Oh, I would like they four.
Well, when you think about it, Oxes, when you think about it, I know, Bridge, because they might still be hungover for Kelvin Grove.
Aye, that's true.
That's true. That's true.
Come on, Nicola, and speak to us. We'll not lie to you. We'll tell you the truth.
If we can remember to do it.
Aye, come on and we'll talk to you, Nicola. We'll tell you the truth. Right, okay, let's hear from you.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972. It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
When does this season become a monumental season? If we get through tomorrow night, Albert, it's just beyond our wildest dreams, if we're being honest. Second, third week in March, we're in the last day of the Europa League. We've won the league. Just keeps going, doesn't it? Hopefully.
See, this is the thing about this. Everybody else outside the Rangers, they're trying to put extra stuff on us. You've already achieved what you need to achieve this season. It's a monumental season right now, today. We got that good result last week in the UEFA Cup away from home. Brilliant. Everything from now on is pure and utter gravy. Lap it up, guys. This is just gravy. But what the Scottish media are trying to do is every obstacle put my way. This is a disaster if we don't get by this. This is a disaster if we don't win on Sunday. This is a disaster if we don't carry on and get an unbeaten run for the whole season. It's a lot of crap, a lot of nonsense, by the way. What we've achieved this season is remarkable. It really is. And I still think there's more to come. I honestly do think there's more to come out of this team. I'm not just saying that for bravado. I totally believe it. So for me, excellent. They've got all the plaudits in the world right now. They're legends in my eyes right now. They don't need to do any more to become legends. They are legends in my eyes. And I'm not going to listen to any outside influences trying to put more pressure on the team, put more pressure on the support. You need to get them to do that. You need to get them to do that. What they've achieved this year to date is remarkable. And everybody outside the Rangers knows it's remarkable. They'll just not say it. They'll just not come out and give them the plaudits they deserve, this team. But in my eyes and all the Rangers support that I hear, everyone of us is giving them the plaudits, and rightly so, because they thoroughly deserve it.
I think those staying local, Albert, we're getting the plaudits in the rest of the UK, possibly Europe. But it's just locally, we know there's agenda-driven media.
And it's ridiculous, Rox. It really is ridiculous, because what that Rangers team has achieved, what they've achieved as a support in the club, is remarkable over the last 10 years. It's utterly remarkable. No other team that I could ever think of in the world could do what we've done. That's incredible. With the amount of obstacles and fights that we had to put up with. I mean, it's not just on the part; it was after the part. A lot of it was off the part. A lot of it was behind closed doors as well that we weren't privy to. But slowly but surely, you drip fed it over the years as to come. You'll hear wee bits here and more wee bits there, and then you'll really see how remarkable it was, what we've done, what we achieved. But it's down to the fantastic Rangers support. It really is. They've got a big, huge part to play in it, and they did play their part, and they're still playing their part, and they'll continue to play their part. And any of these rats out there are listening in the night who don't like the Rangers, get it right round you.
You'd stop prevaricating now, Albert. Stop prevaricating.
Bridge, man. Choice language.
I just love it, by the way.
Well said, Albert. Well said.
Well said. We're behind you, Albert. We're behind you. We'll be quite a distance behind you, right enough, but we'll be behind you.
He's always behind you. He's always behind you. You go to the Barrocks and I'll stand here every time I fall.
I'll still be here when you come back. Don't worry.
I'll just get these 2 seats here, Ox. You go to the bar every time.
One's a shocker.
I try that with her, Ox, but I usually end up with a thick ear, know what I mean? And an empty wallet.
Well said, pal. Brilliant.
Oh dear. What's your team for tomorrow night, Albert?
My team is McGregor, Tavernier, Golston, Balogun, Barisic, Kamara, Davis, Arfield, Aribo, Morelos, Kent.
I don't know how you're going to manage to get Tavernier in that team, mate.
I know Tavernier, sorry, part of him.
Thank you, well done.
I forgot about him. You're just that used to that man being there, aren't you, over the last 5 years?
Yeah,
he just rolls off the tongue.
Google that and dig into that. Richard Sheriff Caldo and that didn't play as often together as you think, mate.
Aye.
But they were heavenly to watch.
They were heavenly to watch. 7 times that team played together, mate.
But they were brilliant.
I think so. I've never really checked it.
They were just brilliant. Just brilliant.
You see, to be fair to this team, Ox, I mean, we already need to get it into our head that, see, that this is not a team, this is a squad. So we've got about, 15, 16, maybe even 18 players that's played regular throughout this season. So you can't rhyme it off as an 11-man team. You're going to rhyme it off, it's going to be 18 players because they've all played their part. Let's still kid myself on. Hey, by the way, am I right in thinking the odd of regulars that have played, even the guys coming on as sub, is Balogun's the only outfield player that's not scored?
Zungu.
That's what I'm saying. Coming on regular, so I wasn't actually counting him. But anyway, you're probably right. But I was just counting.
Balogun, aye. Even Big Bassy scored the cup tie, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. Old Patterson scored 16 seconds.
Taverson, Golson, Helander, Balogun, Barisic, Arfield, Davis, Kamara, they've all scored. Morelos, Kent, and Aribo have all scored. So you're looking at the bench now. Defoe scored, Hitton scored. And so I'm thinking myself, Hadji scored. So I'm thinking, big Balogun. So tomorrow night's the big Balogun night if he plays. He's scoring tomorrow night.
Balogun night, I love that. Balogun night. Tonight's the night.
I tell you what, that Jodie's got a lot to answer for. Everybody comes on here and wants to sing now.
I know, I'm shouting at radio. I'm shouting at the radio last night. How did Jack not shoot like an arrow? I want Jack to shoot like an arrow.
Super duper.
Oh dear. Right, okay. I just want to take us a walk to memory lane, lads, yeah?
Here we go.
6 years ago today, we drew with Alloa Athletic in the league 2 each at Ibrox. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
But I want to take you back further. A European tie on this day with one of the craziest goals you've ever seen score against Club Brugge. Big Nisbet's goal, 1993. Have you ever seen the likes, Albert?
No, I was at that game. That was fantastic. That was just fantastic. Big loopy thing. You're going, what's that going? What's happened to you? Boing. You just knew as soon as it hit the ground, that key. He's not saving it. He's not saving it. Right, or he's not. Yeah, take that, you. One of them will do tomorrow night.
Aye, take it tomorrow night. Anyway, I think we've been joined by Jerry. Jerry. Evening, Jerry.
Yeah. Good evening. Love the radio show as always. I just wanted to jump in there. It was actually the conversation was about 2 minutes ago talking about the Rangers players and their potential inclusion or exclusion from the Scottish football team. Yeah, so I'm an expat. I live in England. 36 years old. I've always been a Rangers fan. Mm-hmm. But I can't understand how, other than the obvious gripes and understatement that we've got with SPFL and the SFA, etc., for what happened to our club, but for the players to be involved at the Scottish level, if anything, it's praise for what the players have actually achieved. So I must admit, there was an extreme amount of disappointment for Patterson not getting in the squad. Not only because he's a young talent, we all recognise that, is that it not only adds an evaluation to the player and gives them well-deserved experience, and not just the fact is that we don't have a body right back anyway, is that, they contribute, the Scottish football team contributes to the coefficient, as has Rangers has done, on their back by themselves for the last 3 seasons, and it's only good for the Scottish game. So I'm just interested to understand why.
I'll take this first. I'll keep you away for the other two.
Cheers. I'm sitting here like a rabid dog waiting to get it.
They two are away for a drink. Right, okay. Well, I think most is traditionally were Scottish fans, and obviously, would you say you were 36?
36, yeah.
All right, same ages with myself. So,
that again without laughing. Say that again without laughing.
So traditionally, the 3 guys on here, we'd all went to Hampden to watch Scotland without fail. It'd have been something we would have done. As the things developed, Jerry, the Rangers support have been lost to the Scotland support, where there was a split. We maybe stopped going to the Scotland games. And then other people started going, and because traditionally the Rangers support was the far biggest percentage of the people who went to watch Scotland, and the players started getting booed onto the park. People stopped going. Then you get to 2012 with the whole interface with the SFA, stroke SPFL, the football authorities, if you like. So they see them as 2 peas in the one pod. So that's no healed, and I think for a lot of the support it might never heal. I accept your point. I think it's good for players to play for their national team, any national team. I would like Scotland to be full of Rangers players who are successful for us and Scotland, and us to get our national team back as a national team, not as a nationalist team. Yeah, you've then got the politics that come into play as well, mate. So there's a whole lot of things going on in the background. Right, I very used to took your blood pressure tablets yet. Right, Albert.
Albert, over to you, pal. You're the oldest. I'll take that back.
I've tried to be as diplomatic as I can, Albert, but I'll leave it to you now.
Well, there's not going to be much diplomatic stuff for me, by the way, because I hate them. I hate them with a passion. They boo our players, mate. They boo our players, and as soon as they boo our players, that's you done with me. If you boo a Rangers player, in my eyes, you're done with me. You're dead in the water. I will never support them ever again. They're also the haters. Every single support in this country haters. Every one of them. You can't even say we've got one ally. They're all haters. So if that's the case, then they're getting nothing off of me. Nothing off of me. I'll fly a Union Jack, but I'll not fly a Salter. No chance. Never will do it.
I
completely get that, but
sorry, Jerry. Let me just come in. Albert, as a young man, I know you've had a few birthdays, but as a young man, up until the last few years, you would have traditionally supported Scotland, eh?
Yeah, of course. Up to the last 10, 12 years, I'd have probably went, okay, I'll say I supported Scotland. I've got into the tartan scarf like everybody else, and the nearly was and hard luck, and we're the best team in the world and all this crap. But anyway, since then, no. And you're right, no chance. No way, no how I'm ever going to support them again. Yeah. I'm British, mate. And by the way, I'm no Scottish, mate. I'm British, mate. I'm for the UK. I'm British. I stay in Northern Britain. I don't stay in Scotland. I stay in Northern Britain.
He's still occupied with the Romans.
So can I comment to sort of just to give you sort of my view, really? It's not up for debate, and I completely understand where you're coming from, because hell, I've felt like that as well, And the fact is that in the Scottish game, there's so much hatred towards Rangers, and and all the banter years and stuff like that. And fuck, I hope they've revelled in it because we're back. But that's the thing that disappoints me. I think that stops the game from progressing and being better. It's the hate between all the different teams. Now, the one good thing that's come out the past 3 years is, as I say, is the Rangers coefficient, and hopefully we'll get through tomorrow night, and the Ukrainian teams get stuffed again, and then we're automatic qualification in the Champions League, not next season, the following season, but also be getting the Champions League next season. Is that by doing that, and let's say that the other mob actually do qualify for Europe, or even muster a couple of good performances in the group, is that if the following two positions, whoever's third or fourth, whoever they may be, couldn't give it two monkeys, is that boosts the rankings, it boosts the money into Scottish football, and it helps develop the game. So that's the point I was trying to make, is that I do want our players to represent Scotland, because if it does better the national side, then so be it. Apart from the Mickey Mouse friendlies. And if it's going to help improve the players, then so be it. But surely it's for the greater good, thinking about the wider picture, that they do well.
I'll turn it round on you, Jerry. Yeah. Do you think the rest of Scottish football will be glued to BT tomorrow night, cheering on the Rangers to benefit the coefficient?
Probably not. But do we give a... 90 minutes comes up and we're through. I couldn't care less what they think. And they're going to reap the rewards, but it's in our interest to have a more competitive league.
Double-edged sword. Yeah. I get that. It's a difficult one because they don't want to go down the road of politics, and that all comes into play as well now because of what's going on in Scotland at the moment. It's all right to have a garrening for St Patrick's Day in Kelvingrove Park. But if Rangers celebrate winning the league, it's a different ball game. So there's loads and loads of things on. Right, Bridgeman, have you had a tablet yet?
Well, I do agree with Albert. I don't personally. I've said this a million times. I feel as if I have anyway. Under no circumstances would I want any of our players to play for Scotland. The fans hate them. They hate us. They hate everything we stand for in any way, shape, or form. Even all these years ago, when it wasn't as bad as it is today, the hatred wasn't quite as bad, but it's changed. In particular, the last decade, they've had a decade of dominance to all intents and purposes through foul methods, in my opinion. But they've done it anyway, and we have not said too much because there's nothing else we could say other than complain. But it was all deaf ears. So we came through, we marched through, we got us a good manager. We're in there, and now we're champions, and they can't take it. They just can't take it. That's the trouble. They can't take it.
What do you think my chances are tomorrow night, Jerry?
I'm right. I'd be happy with 2-1. I reckon that they're going to go all out for it, but I think we can split them open on the break. I think Gerrard and the team are cute, and we don't need to rush it. We can invite them on, but. From the first leg, we started off slow, and we have done against some of the so-called sort of better European opposition, but it takes us 10, 15 minutes to, feel our way into the game, and, Gerrard and the team do a fantastic job of doing the research on the opposition, and there is tweaks and changes that need to be done in the game. It's just a shame that can't be done sooner, but if we can get out there and fire and score first, then it's ours for the taking. It should be an absolute tonkin. I just fear for the other team scoring first. I think my preference would be if we can get on the score sheet first, then it just opens them up, and we could take them in an absolute canter.
Well, I've got you on the phone, mate. We're having a wee poll for our player of the season. Your top 3 players in reverse order, mate. I'm going to put you in the spot, but
it's a very, very good one. For me, I would say 3 would be Davis.
Third place, Davis, yeah.
Third place, Davis. And 2, it's a real close one between 2 and 1. We're not finished the season yet, but I would say 2 Tav and 1 Shagger.
Ooh.
Purely because of where he is in his career. Tav's had a fantastic season. He's done absolute wonders. And from 2 seasons ago, 18 months ago, he had the right dip in form. And this season he's been absolutely fantastic. Best right back in the nation as far as I'm concerned. But Shagger deserves a lot, and he gets medal.
Well, why? You're not alone. And how have you rated this season, Jerry?
It's fantastic. It's beyond expectations, isn't it? It's perfect. It's perfect. It's ecstasy. We all talk about what's happened in the past, but could we have dreamt at the beginning of the season that bad March that we're laughing. We're absolutely laughing. 55. The shirts, bloody hell, the shirts have been changed with the 55 champions and the gold Castore. Castore, brilliant touch by the billboards in Glasgow, by the way. But yeah. And could we have dreamt that? The league's done, dusted. We're concentrating on Europe now. Could I give it a toss if we get beaten between now and the end of the season? No, I'd rather play the kids for the rest of the season, but we concentrate on Europe if we're in with a chance. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely fantastic.
I could have dreamt it, Jerry. I dreamt it. The only difference in my dream was I'm the top goal scorer.
That's a shocker, isn't it?
Can I just say one more thing as well? Is that a guy touched on the last phone call was that there's a lot of praise that deserves for the whole squad and the coach staff. Absolutely fantastic. Yep, completely agree. But wasn't it a touch of class? We know he's a hero and a legend already, Gerrard. But to even thank the likes of Halliday, etc., and the boys that got us here over the last 5 or 6 years, brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
He's a class act. Yeah. He's a class act. It might not have got to success. I still think the way he's managed the club, he's as an individual, he's came as a class act. Now that he's got success, I think that the billboards or the bus stops say it all. He's a legend in Liverpool, but he's a god in Glasgow. Paul Bear?
Yeah. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Just summed it up perfectly.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Thanks for the minute.
Do you want to hear my three?
Cheers, Jerry. Are you off, mate? Yeah? Cheers, mate.
Thank you.
Bye.
Hey, Jerry. Do you want to hear my three for the player of the year?
I've got you doing, mate. I've got you doing. Right, on the go. Right, on you go.
Edmondson Bassey Patterson. Anybody gets up that like Nicola Sturge's nose does for me, I'll vote for him any time.
Right.
You're a shocker, Albert. You're a shocker.
Who are you voting for the player of the year? Well done. Good point, well made.
Tavernier, McGregor, Goldson. There you are, eh? I've changed my mind about Goldson. You never thought you'd hear me saying that.
Yep, I'm just a minute. Right, give me that again, Albert.
Tav, McGregor, Goldson.
Goldson and
number 1
point. McGregor 2 points. And Goldson 3 points. And what did you used to call him?
Big soapy head.
No, that's not what you used to call him. Like a trumpet in it.
A big trumpet, aye. He's a big trumpet. I said it. I want all the Rangers players to prove me wrong. The ones I don't think are good players to prove me wrong. So he did. He came on to a game this season, and well done. By the way, this season's no done. No, I might change my mind if he doesn't get his finger out and see us over the line in the next few games.
Yeah, we'll be joined by David for Cumbernauld. David.
Evening, everybody.
How we doing, mate? How we doing?
I've got 2 wee points, if you don't mind.
You carry on, David.
Could you make them quick then, David, if they're wee?
By the way,
I'll make them as quick as I possibly can.
I'm just joking.
David, you take as much time as you want, but remember who you're talking to, these two.
Aye, no worries. It's just John. What do you think about us trying to get John Fleck and Billy Gilmore? I think it would be quite a good get for us, especially Billy Gilmore. I think he's not really played since Lampard left. And John Fleck's obviously going to be going down there with Sunderland, I think it's way. And obviously, the pool of European football next year will be quite good for us. Just your thoughts on that, if you don't mind.
Bridgeman, I'll let you go first, mate.
You want me to talk about the Billy Gilmore thing?
And John Fleck, he's asking.
And John Fleck. I think we spoke about this the other night. Personally speaking, I don't think Gilmore's going to ever come back to Rangers in any way, shape or form. However, John Fleck, for me, I think he's gone as far as I'm concerned, as far as Rangers are concerned. I just don't think he's the person we're looking for. That's my own opinion, of course. Nothing against the guy, nothing against the young Gilmour. As players, individually, if you got them at the end of their contract, you might get a better deal for Rangers. But when they pay them the money, for me, no way. No for me. It's far too expensive and we're going to have it. I'd rather be concentrate, give the manager the money, let him concentrate on what he's doing. Now, if the club come up with it with cash, that's a different ball game. If they say, right, don't you worry, you go and get them and we'll bankroll it, then that's good. But don't put us into debt for it. Don't want to win near any more debt for players. Need to watch what we're doing. That's fair.
Alba?
No for me. The reasons for no for me is the two of them were Rangers players. They decided they didn't want to be Rangers players. But fair enough, that's their choice. I've no had that against them. But I want to bring them back for that reason. Also, Gilmour, to me, is he's what I call a traffic cop. He's a pointer. I don't like players that point. I just never get that. He's trying to play everybody's game for them. You get in that Chelsea first even. He's pointing to experienced players and pointing where he wants to go. And I was like, just concentrate on your own game, son. So just don't try to be Billy Big Boots here, by the way, and play everybody's game. But no for me, mate. And by the way, it's no our model anyway, because if Gilmour come back, he'd come back on a loan. We wouldn't bring him back on a permanent deal. So Chelsea would want us to, if they gave us him, to develop him even further, give him first team football, and then they'd punt him for a fortune. So no, he doesn't fit the model.
What's your thinking, David?
But I'm thinking obviously with Sunderland going down, and
you mean Sheffield? You mean Sheffield United?
Yeah, sorry, I always get the two mixed up.
Same strap, mate. Same strap.
So I think with them going down, obviously the pool of European football, especially with I think the English league's going to be a wee bit cash strapped as well, because of the lesser team in England's anyway going to be a wee bit cash strapped because of the COVID stuff. So I think we could get a few players here and there, plus with the pool of European football. I always did like John Fleck. It was just something about him. I always fancied him going about the areas that up front, and I thought more a penetrating midfielder kind of role. And I do like Gilmour as well. He's developed a lot, and if he's good enough to get to the Chelsea team, he must be all right. Now, and he's not really playing, but the thing is with Chelsea, they do that. They loan out players. That's their whole model. They loan out players. They don't really, if they see something half decent in them, they'll keep a hold of them. They'll just loan them out to one of the many feeder teams around the world. You know what I mean?
I don't think he's out on loan, Billy Gilmour. I don't know what the contract situation is with John Fleck. He'll be on decent money as a Premier League player, but John must be about 30 now. Must be around about 30.
He's going to be there, huh?
I'll check that out. I'll just check that out. But I don't know, mate. I don't know. Stephen Davis, they sort of playing similar roles, because John's became more a defensive sort of midfield player. So whether he would get back in there, whether we would need him at the moment in time, I don't know. But God, I can't believe he played 58 games for us. It's hard to believe. 33 games as a sub, right enough, but made his debut as a 16-year-old, and he will be 30 this year. He will be 30. You know, obviously we've still got older players than him, you know, but he's a good player, but what we use with budget on him, I don't know, David, I don't know.
Right, thanks, lad.
He's still got 2 years left on his contract, mate.
I just thought with the pool of European football, especially, and I think
listen, you never know, mate. Stranger things have happened, mate. But you know,
just that teams go anchor signs attack all era, if you know what I mean. It looks like a team that's going to go down to my way of looking. I just think. Just my second wee point, if you don't mind. I've been having an argument. I've just been having an argument with all my fellow Rangers pals. I just wonder if you could solve it, right? Who was the better team? The 2018 they reached the UEFA Cup final, or our team than now?
Oh, what a question! All right, who was a better team? I'll take a punt on this first, and then Albert will always having a think. Then Bridge, I'll say that the 2008 team were a better team in that season. This group of players is a more talented football team. Albert?
Aye, the 2008 team were a brilliant team. Good, hard team to beat. Really hard team to beat. And they proved that in the Europe. And they get cheated out of the league as well, and all the rest of the things that happen. So they get eventually unsurmountable problems put in front of them. But a lot of them they didn't know were getting put in front of them. It was all done behind closed doors. So they get treated harshly, that team really did. And they didn't get their just desserts in domestic stuff to prove how good a team they were. But as a football team, and setting records and doing things that most Rangers fans have never seen before, this team today, the one at the current time, is a far superior football team. Far superior. In my opinion, that is, anyway.
Bridgeman.
I 100% agree with both of you. The 2008 team was a fantastic, very, very good team. Some great really great players. And we've got some wonderful players on our team that are showing us. And we're giving you thrills that you never had before. You just, we're high as a kite thinking about tomorrow night. My goodness gracious. If this young man can take this, the way that we'll go to now, and take us through to the last day, seriously, we're talking dreamland at the present moment. Dreamland. Aye, I just love it. Come on, Rangers, get there and leather them tomorrow.
What about you, David? What's your thoughts?
The way one of my pals managed to convince me onto his side, and he said, think about it this way: who would win in a game between the two of them? And I was like, probably 2018, because they were just so impossible to beat. That's shown by the way they were going. But I really do think that our team's got a different dynamicism towards it now. And, I'm not worried about tomorrow night. I think we'll win. Watch our space.
All right, okay. If this team keep going through the rounds, there'll be no contest in that debate, But that 2008 team reaching a European final, being robbed out of the league and winning the two cups, for the supporters, remember it, they'll always be a legendary bunch of players. Albert?
Absolutely, mate. I'm not underplaying the achievements of 2008. No be a long shot, because they've done brilliant. They've done absolutely brilliant. And you remember, by the way, in 2008, with that idiot May on their board for the bank. Remember that, Kerry? And so, as Walter Smith said at the time, it's no the Rangers board that was running the team, running the club. It was the bank that was running the club. So we had restrictions on us at that time as well. So for that point of view, and for the point of view they get cheated out of that league, and they've done extremely well. Melon extremely well. They've done absolutely fantastic. But I still think the way I would look at it, David, is how many of the team in 2008 would get into this team now, and how many of this team would get into the 2008 team. So whoever's got the most players of each team getting into the other one's team, that's the better team, isn't it?
Davis and McGregor playing for both sides.
Well, there you go. Aye, but you've still got Thompson. I would have Thompson for the 2008 team.
I like Kevin, aye.
You know what I'm saying? So and you look at the forward line, you go, well, the forward line will go to the new. I would have all the forward line, the new, in the 2008 team. I'd have Noble as well for the 2008 team in this team. Probably in the squad. Maybe not in the first 11, but definitely in the squad.
You think Dashville's a better player than the Buff?
No. No way.
Bridgeman?
No, I don't think so. I think I've said this before as well. He's one of the best centre forwards that our club's ever had. Seriously, in my heart, I just can't see very many. And I like Big Haitley, Kuzan, Pirzo. I absolutely love these people at the centre forward. Big, warriors for Rangers. That wee lad, I'm saying wee lad, Morelos is every bit as energetic, every bit as shall we say, skillful, and look how he's taken himself up the heights now. 2 years ago he was a menace physically and goal scoring wise, but got himself into a lot of trouble. And this year he's a menace on the park and can score goals. He's proved that. And my goodness, that one in the train mentioned it to us yesterday. I had a look at it this morning. That one, what a shot! Just brilliant. There's not many people can do these things seriously, and he's got it. I was saying Morelos by a long way.
Mm-hmm. That 2008 team, Ox, what was the defence in that 2008 team?
Well,
it was Broadfoot, wasn't it?
What's that?
It was Broadfoot was playing right back, wasn't he?
Broadfoot played it right back some of the times. Whittaker played it right back, as well. Yeah. Left back was Papach, and obviously Queller and Weir in the middle most of the time, and the boy Daly came in and done a turn for us there and all.
So you look at that defence and say, out of that defence, who would you have for that defence and the defence today?
Queller was something else, mate.
Fabulous centre-half.
Definitely.
All right, can I just say, if you're phoning in, please ring in. When you ring in, hang on and speak to the reception, yeah? Hang on and speak to the reception, then we'll bring you in, yeah? Simple as that. Phone in, hang on, speak to the reception, and then we'll bring you in. Easy, Bridgeman, isn't it?
As simple as that, bud. As simple as that.
It's easy, David, isn't it, to get on?
Well, usually no, but I'm on all the time. Thanks very much for taking my call again, lads. Let's go for them, Laura. Mona Rangers.
Here's David. Speak to you soon. Oh, there's Andy joined this evening. Andrew.
How you doing, Troops? All right?
Yourself?
Andrew, how you doing?
I'm fine. Fair to hellish. No, I'm all right.
Very hellish, I love it. Very hellish.
I'm still fairty. I'm still fairty. No, I'll give you a tap 3 in a wee minute. See, this is a discussion you were having there. I'd actually like to ask this question. See the team tonight, your team now. If we were playing 2008, do you think we'd win the final in Manchester? This team, the present team now.
I'll tell you what, if we get beat 2-0, it'd be a different game altogether.
Aye, well, this is it. Aye. But I think this team right now, would beat the Russians. The team we've got now. Because I think we could score. We were likely to score. Don't get me wrong, 2008 I was there, but they were hard to beat. But
I'm going for a big fat. I agree with you, definitely, mate. I think they would win it as well.
I think so, Bear. I think so. And I mean, I think the team 2008 was hard to beat. We didn't concede as many goals, as in we've got 3 each draws, 2 each draws. They haven't happened in 2000 in the new, if that team had been playing the new. But I think we would have beat the Russians. And I think if Gerrard had been in charge, we would have went for it. Because Walter, fair play to him, he didn't go for the win. He just went tactical thing, trying to sneak a goal in the break. But I just think this team right now would beat the Russians if we was going back to Manchester. What do you think, Bridgeman, yourself?
Yeah, I can't disagree with you, I have to be honest and say that. I do think that when we see some of the teams that we play now, we're seeing better quality teams coming through to play against us. I think the last 2 games we played against that Royal Antwerp, and then that one against that mob from Slavia, Slavia Prague. Oh, they're fabulous teams. They're just brilliant. I just love to have sat in Ibrox and watched them.
You remember that? I remember a good side and all, mate.
I'm saying that there's been some great teams, and even as up to the last two teams, these teams were quality, and we beat them. We've actually drawn with them, and we're going to take maybe a goal off them tomorrow night. And if we do that, we will be in among the stars. Because for Rangers fans anyway, that is just tremendous. That team were good. That team were very, very good against us. And look at the times. Well, how can we say it? McGregor pulled up a couple of saves, and we got a lot of good blocks in. I thought Helander played out his skin, blocked virtually everything that he could, and that was the difference for me. And our team must come out top of the game. First 20 minutes must make sure they're on the ball and they get their foot on it and start moving it about with a bit of pace. Because if they don't, we could win for a couple of shocks. I don't mean they're going to score against it, but it's going to be similar to what it was last week. I don't want that. Right. I want us to be.
Gentlemen, get yourself in mute because we're going to have a tune.
Well, there's a pub in Green Street where all good proddies you will meet. So come down here and together we'll have a jab. A welcome there you will receive, so good that you won't want to leave. A fine wee pub is Saltcoats Mermaid Bar. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. We all support the Queen and Crown. The prices here are the best in town, and the bar staff, they are one terrific crew. Everyone laughing, full of cheer. It's one tremendous atmosphere, singing to support the red, white and blue. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. It's nice to come to the Mermaid Bar when Rangers are playing at Ibrox Park. You'll forget your worries and all your cares, singing songs against the Thames before you watch the Rangers win. For everyone here supports the Teddy Bears. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. If you are up from Belfast town, Tyrone, Fermanagh or County Down, Armagh, Antrim or London, Derry shores, the Mermaid is the place for you, so come and have a drink or two. Next time in Saltcoats you'll want to come back for more. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. You'll hear the sash and Derry's walls, just like in your own wee orange halls. The banter here you will enjoy, as long as you're a proddy boy. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all. A good time in the Mermaid is had by one and all.
You enjoy that, Bridge?
Hold on, I've just danced my way back here. That's a gravy number, isn't it? A gravy number. You'll hear the sash and Derry's. Just brilliant. Just brilliant. I love it. Well played.
See Sturgeon's talking about cancelling Easter and she's having an emergency meeting with Jesus.
Oh dear. Listen, I've just had a text from Southside. He said it doesn't matter which selection pattern between the two teams. Barry Fergus, Davy Weir and Connor Golson would all walk into a select team for the 2 years. There you go. Southsider. He's a big fan of that Connor Golson. Go on, Andy. The floor's yours, mate.
You want my top three here?
Oh, wait, I'll just get the spreadsheet up, mate. Right, mate.
Reverse order.
In reverse order. Do you want a drum roll, Andy?
No, I'm all right. At least I've got a sausage roll, if you don't mind. No, I'm only kidding. No, reverse order. We'll go with Golston. Right. And we Sir Stephen Davis, number 2, and number 1, the one and only Alfredo.
Oh, Oh, good, like it. One to Connor, 2 to Sir Stephen, and the Buff.
The Buffalo, aye. The wee man, I can't see why the wee man. Andy's like,
Do you know you're only the 5th person to vote for the Buff, mate?
I was surprised that all, because I know, listen, Davis is brilliant. There's not many to choose with. You could have a top 10 and you still be struggling. Aye. You know what I mean?
Aye, it's good. It's good, mate. Good debate we're having, and good to discuss it. Aye. By the way, just out of curiosity, so we all know, is she talking to you yet?
Aye. All right. And she talks with her noise now, because I must have worn out, I tell you that. She said to me last night, she said to me the other night, she goes, you're staggering. I goes, you're not too bad looking yourself, eh? That's an old one, that's an old one. No, she is talking to me, aye. No, that was some laugh right enough, wasn't it? No, I think tomorrow night, I think we'll win 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. I think we'll each over. Hopefully, fingers crossed, folks. Fingers crossed.
Did she get any stick about being live on the radio?
Oh, I heard my David. He was getting at it tight. My son, he was getting it. Aye, you're embarrassing this family. He said that. Oh, she was funny, but there was a few things with my pals. A few of the boys have texted me and messaged me. Every because she smashes it. She doesn't get last. Every because of me, Sanny, I think, but she's a wee tote, but she's up. She can be in my place now and again, but no, all my pals are for me. Sanny's no longer and all that. But they held it live. She's live on the radio. That'd be comedy gold. I'll give Joe Higgy's not about Jeremy Guido. He did it on his show.
Anyway, we've also been joined by Bob Gerrard. Evening, Bob Gerrard.
How are you doing, folks? All right. I was just listening earlier on there to the comparison of the 2008 team and this team.
Yes.
I'm really a bit undecided, Oxford, because at the end of the day, they did reach the final. And they lost, and Walter had them so well organised. And Davy Weir was an absolute colossus that year. You mind me got knocked out of Champions League group that year with Barcelona? Who was the other side of that? Stuttgart
and Lyon.
I can't remember who else it was.
Stuttgart and Lyon, yeah?
Aye, Lyon, that's right. We started off with a wonderful result in Lyon, beating them 3-0 earlier after all around their way here, but it never worked out. But I can mind Davy Weir never gave Messi a sniff at Ibrox. He's on. I mean, okay, one game, but he didn't. And they went all the way to the final brilliantly. They played the one way all the time. We know it was park the bus and stuff like that, and Darcyville on the break. But this team, to me, is far more entertaining to look at. They play a better brand of football. So I can't sort of separate them. They're both two teams. But the 2008 team, as you say, was cheated out the league. I'll never forget what that SFA done. Walter sat at the time and he said, well, that's your season. That's it. We'll just need to get on with it. And the boys kind of ran out of legs. So that was my take on it. I can't separate them. But, looking forward to tomorrow night. And you can tell your friend David, you're talking to the king of wife slaggers here. I don't even want to start the wife jokes tonight.
Andy, don't you start.
Andy, I will go with
that. Andy's missus said she's...
Sorry, Bob, for cutting in.
She's one of our regular callers, Andy's missus.
Scarlett Pimpernel, looks here. Aye.
Scarlett Pimpernel. Brilliant.
I know.
Well, it's a good debate that the boys started. Anyway, we've also been joined by Rudy Bear. Evening, Rudy.
Evening, Ox.
Aye, Rudy.
Aye, guys. Old Bear, Bridgeman.
How's it going?
How you doing, Roots?
Aye, good, Bridgeman. Thank you very much.
What did you have for your meal? Come on, we're waiting.
I had a lovely big plate of sausage casserole tonight, Bridgeman.
I hate you, by the way.
It was beautiful. Big Lincolnshire sausages, Bridgeman. Carrots and tatties and all sorts of stuff in it.
God almighty.
Brilliant.
Wow. Well done, Pa.
And actually, I had the extra as well. There was a bit left. Put that down. I've no finished. Put that casserole dish back on that table. I've no finished yet. So it was smashing. Can I give you my three
I certainly can, mate. May I just get this on? This started as a carry on. It's going.
Oh, did it?
It's through arm and legs.
Right.
And obviously we'll get the sponsors prize. The guys gave us a prize. Right.
So what's the prize then?
Oh, doesn't matter. If you don't know, you don't get it.
Oh, well.
It's the taxi board game. Yeah, Rangers
right.
Taxi board game.
Right.
Everybody have a number come Saturday, and
cool.
Whatever the bonus ball comes out. Yeah.
Cool.
60. Right, on you go, brah.
All right. I've thought long and hard with this since I've been listening to the show, and I've struggled with it. But I'm going to go with this. This is my 3. Right. My third place is Tav. Second place, McGregor. And player of the season for me, I just think without a shadow of doubt, it has to be Connor Goldson. Really do. He's been such a rock ox this season. He's he's part of a defence that's been responsible for all the clean sheets. He's had some phenomenal performances this season. And if you think back the previous 2 seasons, well, I'm basted him often enough on the show, and here Albert there, Albert, laying into him a few times, and rightly so, Ox. But I don't think you can level that up in this season. I think he's been absolutely phenomenal this season. So he's my man of the season. He's player of the season for me, Ox. It's Big Connor Goldson.
You're right, mate. I did lay on him, and at the time I thought it was justified myself. But now, he's played me wrong. He shut my big mouth up, and well played with him. Well played.
He's been outstanding, Albert, this season. He really has, hasn't he? As you say, we did all
absolutely.
Into him occasionally.
He was listening to the show and listening to Albert's pointers.
And I hate to leave Stephen Davis out, because I think there's been another couple of fantastic performances through the season. Some players have been really good for spells. I don't think the first half of the season Alfie was great. I wouldn't say he was bad. I just don't think he was as good as he has been in the second half of the season. Alfie's been phenomenal in the second half of the season so far. But and I struggled to leave Stephen Davis out. I really did, because I think he's been outstanding all season. But I just think the 3 that I've picked, McGregor has been responsible, some brilliant saves in really important games. Tav's been outstanding right up until he got injured. I thought Tav was outstanding. And I think as far as all the clean sheets goes, you have to pick Big Connor Goldson for that reason alone, Ox,
He's shocking. I'm absolutely shocked that you haven't picked Stephen Davis. Seriously.
Oh, I know. I struggled with that, Bridge. I struggled with
it. It really is difficult. It's difficult.
Andy, can I ask you a quick question, mate?
You can, mate, aye.
Where are you from?
Irvine.
There we go. The boys in the techie were having a wee problem. They for joy of the place.
Oh, wait, we were in Berwick, the other place. No,
for joy of the place, aye.
The land of milk and honey. See the Mermaid. I'm in a pint of hood in the Mermaid.
Oh, right.
It's just along the road. It's along the road, it's only 5 miles along the road.
Good night.
It's shut a while now. It's shut a while now.
Aye.
The Pro Skis, that's a good pub in Stevenson. That's a good Rangers pub.
Right.
Bus streets for there too. That's all fair. Listen, I'll drop out and let somebody else run. All the best for the team tomorrow night. Nice to talk to you again. Okay. Take care, everybody. Okay. I love a lot of Easter fans. You take care. Bye, mate. Bye,
Cheers,
bye.
Andy. Cheers, Andy.
Cheers, mate. Bye.
What a character, Rudy. Oh, Rudy's away.
Sorry, Ox. Try to get off on mute.
Oh, you can go in the course with Bridgeman then at the end of the season.
Listen, most of the guys that phone this platform are characters, but Ox, even when I don't phone in, I just sit and enjoy the show. I listen to the par and the jokes and all that, and the points being. It's brilliant, Aye, they're all characters,
Rudy, can I make a point to you, pal?
Aye, on you go, fella.
I'll just listen to you there. Very good choice. And you picked Connor Goldson as your player of the year.
Yeah.
And I made a point to Ox and Bridge a couple of months ago that Manchester United paid 80 million quid for that Maguire. You mind of that, Ox? 80 million quid for that Maguire. And I'll tell you now, if he's a better player than Connor Goldson, well, all right, he's playing in the Premiership. the big man's playing up here in the SPL. You know, but no, he's been outstanding this year. He was second in my choice, by the way. But
there's no way
he was third actually.
But there's no way Maguire's worth as an 80 million player, though, is he? He's certainly no 80 million worth better than Connor Goldson, in my opinion.
No chance. He's not worth 80 million shekels.
No.
No chance.
He's not worth 80 million ginger bottles, never mind anything else. No. You know, that was a phenomenal amount of money to pay for pay for a player like him. It really was. You know.
The last time I saw him playing, he missed the biggest sitter I've ever seen.
Last week. Anyway, we'll be joined by Robert. Robert, how we doing, Robert?
Even Oxbridge, man, Albert and everybody else on the panel.
Robert, lovely to hear you. Lovely to hear you.
Same yourself, Bridger. Hope you and Mrs. Bridger keeping safe, pal.
Oh, we're doing well. The bruises have gone down.
I know we are talking, but I've still got the strap marks on my wrist, Bridge. There you go.
Something paying good money for that.
It's good money for that. Oh, this is brilliant. He's a
I'm like, man, no.
If Mrs. Bridge tied Bridge to the bed, she'd go through and watch the soaps and a bit of peace.
That's exactly what she did.
I wish it was the bed she tied me to. It's a pulley and I get pulled up with the pulley. Do you know what I mean?
Oh no the light.
Bridge, you get comfort, I've no.
Oh, brilliant. You mentioned the old pulley. That's been wonderful. Bring back memories, that.
Oh, the pulleys, aye. Right, Robert, what's on your mind, mate?
What's on my mind? I've got to say, mate, I've had to take a couple of Grey Goose there to calm me down because I'm so excited about tomorrow night. But listen to the first part of the show, and Alberg, thanks, mate. You just bring the battle fever right out of me and probably every other Rangers fan. I love your passion, the way you speak about the club. And you're so true when you talk about that Scotland lot and everything else. But just looking forward to tomorrow night, mate. It's just, I can't wait. I can't wait. And I've heard you saying all week what's the most important game tomorrow, and then you're talking about Sunday's game. And of course, we never ever want to lose against them. And Sunday, even we played them at Tiddlywinks, she'd want the Rangers to win. But I'm going to make a big bold statement here. I would sacrifice Sunday so much. Pains my heart to say that, but I'd sacrifice it for the Rangers to get through tomorrow night, because where we've been, where we've came from, and to be 90 minutes away from a quarter-final, a major European trophy, I just think that's phenomenal. And what would that do to our club? Getting into the last eight, it just puts your stock right up. It brings in more money. Do you know what I mean? And it just would be so sensational to get to the last eight. And then, you know, bring on your Man Uniteds, your AC Milans, your Ajaxes. We've played them all before, and you know what? We'll take them all on. And I'm just so excited, so look forward to tomorrow night. But with a bit of caution, Ox, because they are a good team. Let's not kid ourselves. They are a good team. It is Bridgeman and yourselves, and I've heard it on this show so many times. If the Rangers turn up tomorrow night, and I mean if the Rangers play their full pelt, I've got every confidence we can do it. We'll be a 5-2 against Antwerp or anything like that, but I've got every confidence, and I'm predicting it'll be squeaky bum time. I think the Rangers will win 2-1 tomorrow night. Yeah.
All right, mate, all right. Listen, I don't think you're alone. I mean, imagine we get to the quarter-final. That cup, maybe Castore will put some more signs up in the city.
Oh, how good is that?
That'd be brilliant, wouldn't it?
How good is that? And I mean, I thought these were all just made up. But is it true that there's signs on bus stops in Dumbarton Road, etc. about? Aye. I seen one on Facebook yesterday, and I thought that's just somebody making it up. That can't be right.
It's the top trolling Ox by Castor, isn't it?
Oh, mate, just superb, wasn't it?
Brilliant. I was killing myself. My nephew had sent me some today, some pictures and stuff like that today. I was just killing me. I just thought that's absolute top trolling by Castor. Well done to the guys at Castor.
I think the police have asked them to take them down because people keep driving, smashing their motors. Look at that, brilliant.
Superb.
Right, Robert, what's your top 3 player of the season, mate? We need yours.
Oh, now here we go. And I hope you give a wee couple of minutes to explain why.
Okay.
Simple for me, and I think you all probably know what I'm going to say. Well, my number 3, Mr. Consistency, and correct me if I'm wrong, has he not played about 74 games or something consecutive, Big Connor Golston? And when you think his performances last season, the season before, the mistakes were in him, and this season he's just been outstanding. I can't really think of a mistake he's made this season. The big man's been absolutely solid and could easily be every Rangers fan's number 1. So, but I'm going to put Big Connor at number 3. Now, at number 2, I wasn't going to put him in there because I want my number 1 to up the leaderboard that I've got the now up. So I wasn't going to put him in at number 2. So he wouldn't get 2 points, but you know what? How could I miss out our little general? How could I miss out our little Pirlo? And in many Rangers fans' eyes, he deserves Player of the Year at the age of 36 or whatever he is. Outstanding, Sir Stephen Davis. Absolutely outstanding. A credit to Rangers Football Club and every Rangers fan out there. The wee guy's just been outstanding for us. But my number 1, and he came through a lot. People said he should never have been a captain, should never wore the shirt. And I think the first part of the season is just as important as the second part of the season. And I think in the first part of the season it was outstanding. 17 goals, 13 assists. Yes, he might have shaded it a wee bit after the turn of the year, what a few of the players did. But I just think our captain, James Tavernier, I still, in my opinion, I think he should get Player of the Year because see what that guy's been through and what that guy has to put up with. He's a Rangers captain. I think the pressure's been on him more than any other Rangers captain in the history of our football club because what this season meant, and he's had to carry that mantle as your captain, and I think he's done it with class. To carry that, the most important season in our club's 149 years history, and he's had to carry that burden as captain, and I think he's done it with class, and that's why James Henry Tavernier is my Rangers Player of the Year.
All right, mate. Well said.
That was well said, Robert. Well said, pal.
Yeah.
And Robert.
I don't agree with anything you said, but well said.
And can I just before while I'm on my wee rant, and can I just explain why Alan McGregor's not in my top 3? And I can understand. I value all your all you guys' opinions. I do value all your opinions, but Alan McGregor's not in my top 3 for one simple reason. Most of the season, he's sat in a deck chair with a cigar hanging out his mouth. Yes, he's done the world-class saves against Griffiths, and that one last week, that was just up there with Gordon Banks, if no better. But that's the only reason Sir Alan McGregor's not in my top 3, because a lot of his times he's not been had the games. But when he has been called upon, he's been absolutely outstanding. And that's the beauty about this Rangers team this season. There's 5 or 6 players, even Morelos, even Kamara could have got a wee shout in that top 3. That's how good this team, this squad has been. Fantastic, Rangers.
And you come, Bob, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I can hear your sentiments there, Rob. Excellent, Paul. Watch no day your ankle in coming off that soapbox there. Absolutely brilliant, sir. The team has been outstanding this year. I mean, it's difficult to pick. My 3 were Golson, I can't remember New York, I'm getting old, Golson, McGregor and Davis. But the rest aren't far behind. The Pups had a great season, so he screwed them up. The whole back four's been absolutely tremendous. Christ, they've only lost, 9 goals at Ibrox. And shipped a few in Europe, of course. I've said Europe's a different level. But they're absolutely great this season.
You also have to take into consideration how well Barisic has played. Nobody's even mentioned Barisic.
The whole back four. I mean, the 2 fullbacks have been great. When you think about the energy they've used, I mean, the amount of crosses they've got in, the amount of goals they've made. Barisic and Tavernier have been the model of consistency this year. Everybody has. It's been a united effort.
Bob, this is the first time. Bob, this is the first time in my memory. I don't know if you agree. This is the first time in my memory that 7 or 8 players are in contention for the Player of the Year. It's unbelievable.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's been so good that it's been such a really, really good, consistent performance for everybody. I think the only time they let themselves down really was the day against Hamilton. And it wasn't exactly a pretty day for football, but that's going to happen this season.
You mean
that's going to happen this season? Well, that as well. We didn't play well that night, but Christ, I mean, they allowed 2 bad games this season. The amount of games we've played. Oh, it's been great. I mean, even worst case scenario, and it's a possibility. Let's face it, we're facing a good side tomorrow night. Even if we do go down tomorrow night, well, you can hold your hands up and say, well, we've done fantastic in Europe. You talk about a 3-year period, some of the quality that we've played and beaten in Europe. Christ, we went out in Lisbon and scored 3 goals. So, it's been a fantastic journey, isn't it? Right, it's maybe going to get better, guys. I hear Robert saying there that, that he would sacrifice Sunday for tomorrow night. He might not need it. We might run away with the 2 of them.
Hope you're
playing so well.
Anyway, I'm going to cut across you because we're joined with somebody who never lets us down. We'll be joined by Amanda. Even Amanda.
Good evening.
Oh, brilliant.
Bob, Jen, are you on your soapbox and all? I think we'll need to get the plaster cast ready in case you're all breaking ankles and legs.
The last thing I had anything to do with soap, Amanda. That's where I hide my pocket money.
At least we're no fear of soap. Rudy Bear.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
Right, I'm going to ask you this question again. Has your wife started that cookbook yet?
No, not yet. I'll let you know. I'll give you a shout, Amanda, when she does.
I heard you talking about the 2 teams between 2008 team and the Days team. I think the team will go to the news a lot better than the team we had then. Okay, the circumstances were different then, weren't they? But I definitely think the team will go to the Days. The news, a great team. I just think we've got so many, as they were talking about, midfielders, defenders, players that are able to, rotate positions. Do you know what I mean? I just think we've got a great team, and I think we'll get a good result tomorrow night. I do. I think we'll get a good result tomorrow night.
I hope you're right. It's difficult to judge, but we don't want to take any away from that 2008 team. They were marvellous for us. But it's, the fact that we're having that debate after our journey is absolutely brilliant. Albert?
Certainly. You wouldn't have thought up until this year that you would compare any team with the 2008 team for what they'd done and how they get treated again, how we get getting cheated out that title. But there you go. You've got a team now that's really special, by the way. Can I just say about the Morris game? I never got asked to score. 2-0 tomorrow night for me. 2-0.
I'll take that all night long.
By the way, everybody's saying this team we're playing, Sparta Prague, are a good team, which they are. But we're better. Don't underestimate us. We're better than them. And we're going to prove it tomorrow night. We're going to come out with strength, power, passion, skill, speed. You watch it. We'll take them tomorrow night, definitely.
That's the point, Robert. I'll go to Robert with this and then Rudy. If we play, we win. Robert?
Definitely. I've got no doubts about that. The Rangers turn up. Don't get me wrong. We can't turn up the way we did in the first half of last week because I did think that the Rangers had a hangover. Couldn't string 2 passes together. But as that game went on last week, that team tired because we started pressing in the second half and we were by far the stronger team in the second half and we possibly could have sneaked it with big Golson's chance. So I agree with all Bear said. They're a good team, but listen, so the Rangers, and I'm just so looking forward to it. But way a bit of caution because let's not forget, guys, they did go to Leicester, who are flying in the English Premier League, and they did beat them 2-0 comfortably. And so that can't be dismissed. You know what I'm talking about?
Aye, but Robert, wait a minute. Look who their manager is. Rodgers. He's hopeless in Europe, that clown. You know what I mean? So you've got to take that into consideration.
Well, you're 100% right. Yes, very true.
That's your trouble. I think you're too diplomatic, Albert.
You're diplomatic.
He always hits me on the head.
I think we saw last week, Ox, there, if you'd sit off of them, if you kind of get to grips with the game quickly with them, how good they are. And they are a good team. I mean, there's no two ways about it. They're a good team. They play with power and pace, But when I watched the game last week, they played the exact same way they did against Leicester. They've never done anything differently to what they've done against Leicester. So I saw the exact same performance of them last week.
Well
said. Well said.
How do you think it's going to go, Amanda?
I think we'll get a result tomorrow night. I'd say maybe 1-0 would do me, 2-0. But as long as we get a good start, as I say, we don't start off the way we started last week, as all Gerrard was saying there. Don't start looking as if we've got a hangover. Let's face it. Last week in the first half, we did look as if we were playing with a blind hangover. But we did up our game in the second half. And I think we'll start with a bit more in tomorrow night and get the spring into the step and get stuck in. You know what I mean? I definitely do. I mean, even watching the pictures of the team training now, it's a joy to watch the team training now. Whereas previously it was just sort of, I don't know. But no, I think we will get a result tomorrow night. I think we'll start with a bit more oomph in the first for the kick-off and just go at them.
I think, Amanda, I think somebody had a couple of boxes of beer in that dressing room at half-time for us to sort of hang over it. That's what I think.
I don't drink, so I couldn't quantify that. But I mean, it's bad enough when you've got a headache, never mind a hangover. That's what I remember having hangovers. No.
You come on here sober, Amanda?
Oh, I'm sober all the time. I don't touch it. I've got a bottle of Iron Brew sitting by my bed. That's it.
There you go, Rudy. That's another bet you've forced to me, Rudy.
My Wi-Fi's acting up, Ox. I cut out there.
How come you cause so much trouble and yet you don't drink?
I don't drink. I honestly don't drink. I hate it. No, because I don't know what I used to work, so I was never able to have a hangover. You know what I mean? I was never able to drink a lot of stuff because I don't know what I used to work in that. But
if you come on the show, sit with Bridge, he'll drive you to drink. He's done it with me.
If you're not alcoholic, you will be by the time you finish. Is that what you're saying? Bridge, man, don't you listen to them.
Amanda, are you telling me every time you come on this show you're sober?
Totally. Teetotal.
High up, Rudy, high up.
Have you been a week in a discussion as to whether I'm a tippler?
Listen, keep away.
Rudy, you should ask Amanda out. She's a cheap date, by the way. She no smokes and any drinks. It's a cheap night out.
It's a cheap night out. Don't tell Mrs. Rudy that. I don't want to be the cause of a divorce, I can assure you.
Amanda.
Trust me, Mrs. Rudy would pick you up.
I thought you women weren't meant to have sore heads to 10 o'clock at night, Amanda.
What time is it today anyway? It's only 25 to 10. I'm all right. But
he's go for half an hour.
Anyway, listen, I'll cut out now and let some other callers get in. But as I say, I think we'll get a good result tomorrow night anyway. So. Okay, night all. Night. Bye, night Bob Gerrard, night Bridge Man, night all. Bye. Bye.
Oh dear, she's brilliant. She's nuts through there. Well, what's Rudy?
He'll be struggling to come off mute. It's really difficult sometimes. You guys don't understand it.
No, he's left. His Wi-Fi's playing up.
Oh, his wife's playing up. Is that what you said there?
His Wi-Fi.
Oh dear. I'm going to cut out an Ox. Raj, thanks for having me tonight. Before I go, I think I've said it before when we drew this night that I thought Rangers should go through, and I'm going to stand by that. I think we'll 1-2 tomorrow night and go through, and it'll be another reason.
Bob Gerrard, high hopes. I've got a lot of hopes. I just hope Rangers do go through, because I do rate this team. I think there's a lot of hope. Maybe not, but I rate them. I think they're really good, very athletic,
very strong.
Yeah, we need to be on top of our game, and that's what it's about in Europe. Get on top of your game. You've got to be able to play against them.
Did you notice Mr. Gerrard said? Did you notice Mr. Gerrard said in his interview exactly that? He says we have to be at it straight away, right away. We can't afford to come out and perform like we did in the 20, 25 minutes like last week, and I think they will. I think the Gers are built for us tomorrow night. If we score first, well, you never know what can happen, eh? That's what we're all for. So anyway, I'll say good night to you all, and have a good and let somebody else get a wee show. All right?
Cheers, Bob.
Cheers, Bob.
Bye-bye, teddy bears.
Oh dear. Right, okay. Rudy's having trouble with his Wi-Fi, I believe. He should hopefully be back here soon. Robert, I accept your point about the game tomorrow night compared to Sunday, but I'll be honest, mate, I would take 2-0 each draws. Now, I'd bite your hand off, just move on. Through. Nothing conceded to them, just move on.
Oh, can I ask you a wee question?
Yes.
Maybe put it in the panel here. See this Slavia Prague, in your personal opinion, do you think they're as good as the Portuguese teams we played, i.e. Braga, Benfica or Porto? Do you think this Slavia Prague team are as good as the 3 teams that we played in the last year or two?
I don't think they're as good as Benfica. I don't think they're as good as Porto. It'd be hard to say the difference between them and who was the other one, the Portuguese? Oh, Braga.
Braga.
I mean, obviously when they were 2 up against us, they were posting and then they missed the chance. We scored 3 quick goals and we actually got a great result out of there. But I would put Benfica and Porto above them, but I don't think the team tomorrow night will be on a par with that, the quality of their teams. Albert?
Yeah. No, they're not as good. They're not as good as their teams, definitely no. See, you've got to remember last week, guys, when we played them last week, that was us probably at our worst. We weren't really playing top-notch football the way we can play. So, and we held them quite comfortably because apart from Alan McGregor's save right at the end, they never really created much. You know what I mean? So I've no fear. I've no fear whatsoever. You know what I mean? I don't think they will handle us. On our game, we turn up, as you pointed out. If we turn up, we win. And I think if we turn up, they can't handle us. They just can't. I mean, they played that Leicester, but Leicester depend on Vardy, you know what I mean? It's a big boot up the park and he chases like a maniac, you know what I mean? So what they done is just drop deep and denied him the space, and that was the end of Leicester. They never done anything else for them. And then you just caught them on the break with 2 good goals. So I think we've got too much for them. We've got too much skill in the team for them. I think Balogun will score and I think Kent will score.
Yeah, Albert, that's the reason I asked this question, right? Because this is what worries me a wee bit. No, they're not as good as the 3 teams I said, because they're soccer teams, right? But see the Slavia Prague team, they remind me, I'm not as good as Bayer Leverkusen, but they remind me of a strong German team and an Eastern European team. And for some reason, that's the times we kind of struggle a wee bit when we come up against these solid teams that put the boot in. You've seen it in Scottish football for years, especially this season. You're playing against that low block and all that, they want to kick you off the park. And that's what worries me. I would rather the Rangers played against a Porto, Benfica, or a Braga, who don't see some players. Probably world-class players in some occasions, probably teams that are worth 300 million, like their teams, you know what I mean? I would rather play against that type of team than against a big German team who are going to be solid, who are going to be well organised, or against a Russian team, and that's my worry, because I think we've got a lot of skillful and sulky players. We've not got many players in our team that can put the boot in. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that worries me. But if we turn up tomorrow night, I've got no doubts that we'll win, but my only concern is they might be really, really physical and try and kick us off the park, and that's my real concern for tomorrow night.
All right, I don't know if you have caught a wee story developed, nothing major, but just quite interesting and quite complimentary towards your club. The vice chairman of the board of Slavia Prague has tweeted, "We have travelled through Europe, but nowhere have experienced such a stadium, incredible, enchanting history. Never rebuild it." Things that we take for granted, people for other parts of the continent think are on a different level. Albert.
That's it. You heard it from Gerrard, the first when he came in. He's not the first time coming to stadium, but he said, I thought about when I was talking about signing for Rangers. He says, I thought of the stadium, an old proper football stadium, and he went, it's just awesome. And we just, as you say, we just take it for granted, but it's quality. When you walk up with Ibrox, you see it's quality. You look at that mob across the city with their walk of shame and their breeze and sorry for the swearing, their breeze city, you know what I mean, their pedo dome, and you look at Ibrox, there is no comparison. And even most of the clubs down in England, you know what I mean, you've visited Chelsea, Tottenham, all these Arsenal and all that. I mean, they're going out spending £1 billion stadiums, and still they don't come near Ibrox. It's for the quality. And
somebody's obviously trying to throw in the show, but they're phoning an old call. Phone the show on 0141 356 1972. Carry on, Albert.
It's the quality of the brickwork outside you see when you walk up. And you're inside Ibrox, it's quality as well. It can run down there for a wee while with the spibs and all that, but it's coming back to what it was. It really is. I get down every now and again, as you know, and it's I don't know if anybody's been over lately, but it's looking really good now. It really is. And we're going to get the museum built. It'll look even better. It's fantastic. And we shouldn't take it for granted. And I don't think a lot of people do take it for granted. Maybe they don't really appreciate the look of Ibrox and the quality of Ibrox, but it's fantastic. It's fantastic.
Robert and Bridgman?
See, one thing, guys, you know what, all my life, I've never taken it for granted. When I walked round that corner by the Loudon Tavern and I got that pathway, like Stevie says, you should call it King's Highway, and I agree with that. When I walk up there and I see that shop and I see all the famous, that picture, it brings a tear to my eye. And I've been privileged, probably like you guys on the show there, I've been privileged many a time to walk in these front doors and up that marble staircase and in that blue room and in that trophy room. And you know what? I've never once taken it for granted, because I just think, you know what? I'm home. I'm where I belong, with 50,000 fans in the belong. And I've never once taken it for granted.
We have been joined. You're breaking up a wee bit, Robert.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault, mate. It happens. But we've been joined by Jaffa Del Monte. Evening, Jaffa.
How you doing, boys? How you doing?
All right, mate. You're good.
Hey, Jaffa.
You hear us, Jaff? Oh, he's left us. He's having technicals. Seems to be one of the nights. Carry on, Robert, and then we'll go to Bridge about the stadium.
No, but as I say, Oxen, I'm being totally honest. I've never once taken it for granted, because I just love walking, seeing that stadium. And as I say, like yourselves, I've been privileged to go in the front doors and up that staircase, and you get in that trophy room, and let's be honest, in that blue room, it just, God, what does it do? It makes the hair stand in the back of your neck. And I've sat in every single part of that stadium. I've sat in every single part, and I love the old days and the Olsen team starting up the Rangers end. And just up the main stand. I've sat in every part of that stadium, and everywhere I've sat, I've just loved every single moment. Because to be a Rangers fan, you're born one, and when you walk in that stadium, that's when it really hits home. You walk up these stairs and you look out and you see that pitch, and you see all these Union Jacks and all these flags and all the guys singing and cheering their team on. It just brings it home to you. This is where I belong. This is where I belong. 150 Edmondson Drive, the home of the most famous football club, and the most successful football club with 55 championships. Hang on. Go on, the Rangers. We are the people.
Come on, Robert. Get into them.
I told you earlier on. Albert's got me gone.
It's Albert, really does it all the time. We had the same problem with Amanda. Jaffa?
How you doing, boys? Sorry about the technical
don't worry about it, mate.
problems.
It happens, mate. It happens. How are you doing? What's on your mind, brother?
Just listening into the radio again with you lads. It's brilliant as usual. The chat's great. Just getting geared up, I guess. If I was on the sauce, I'd be getting wired up, I guess, for tomorrow night. But looking forward to it. Excited.
Aye, my real game of football, mate. I mean, obviously we can watch a lot of draws at Ibrox. This is a real game of football. You're just wishing you were in the stadium, mate.
Oh, it's funny. I was talking to my big brother the other day, and I said exactly that, Ox. I said, the biggest, and I've heard Bridgeman. I know he's missing it terribly, and as we all are. But in nights like this tomorrow night, man, Glasgow would be jumping, wouldn't it?
Aye.
Electric blue.
Aye, one part of it anyway.
You bet, Bridge.
Castor, did you like the billboards today, Chapper?
Oh, that was magic. I spotted the stuff in Twitter yesterday, and I'm maybe a bit like Robert. I was a wee bit unsure if it was just maybe somebody were more colourful characters and more inventive guys. Maybe was putting some stuff up on the bus shelters. But as the day went on, I started to realise this looked a bit too professional, and this morning's billboards were a sight to behold, weren't they? Oh, they don't like it, didn't they? No, they don't like it.
Oh well, such is life.
Aye, I know. But they look great though. They look great.
By the way, the two boys can't believe their luck, can they?
Oh, I mean, you have said that, Ox. I mean, they must be. That's ridiculous. They must be sitting there going, what would we know do this about 10 years ago for?
Aye, you're right. If you get it right with the Rangers family, you'll be successful with the gear, Bridgeman, you there, mate? Rich?
Weird, but I just can't get off this bloody mute. Anyway, carry on. Sorry.
Just about the tweet for the Slavia Prague vice chairman, mate, about the stadium.
Yeah, brilliant, wonderful. Probably people get fed up listening to you, but I just can't believe that we've not been in the stadium for more than a year. It breaks my heart, Just breaks my heart because the stadium's there and the fans love. I just love walking up the steps there, even though I find it a struggle because I'm an old guy, But I just love it. I love walking up the steps and just sit there for 10 minutes and soak it all in. Watch the people coming in, people nip down to meet people, whatever you want to do. It's just wonderful, just great.
You need to go in 10 minutes early. What the freebies you get for all your fans?
That's correct. That's correct. But no,
Next man, try and climb the 115 steps I have to climb to go up to the club deck, and yes, I've counted them. That's how sad I am. 115 steps to get up to that club deck.
But you love it up there, don't you? You love it up there, Robert.
So slim, Robert.
No, I've tried to go on that lift a few times. I've limped along, putting a wee act on the guy saying, "Get up these stairs. You're not going up the lift." I've tried my best, putting a wee limp on, but it doesn't work.
It's just wonderful to go into Ibrox, and you all know the feeling because you're all part of it and been there, and you go there whenever you can, and I can't wait. I just can't wait. And if we can go back there in the last date, unbelievable. Just to let the crowds in, let them in, give us a European night to celebrate.
And also, when you're talking about quickly, you're talking about the stadium. Mine's is Dynamo Kiev. What's the best atmosphere you've ever experienced in Ibrox Stadium? Mine's is against Dynamo Kiev.
That would be up there. That would be up there, and maybe the day that Hitler scored the 2 goals, and also Leeds United.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, they'd be up there, mate. Aye, they'd be up there.
The Marseille game, remember that night, Ox?
Aye, 2-2, aye. Young Mike's
2-0. Aye, big Haley.
Obviously, I was
the key out for me, mate.
Aye, some
was
tremendous.
it Harry Redknapp, Robert? Was it Harry Redknapp? Would say it was Harry. I think it was Harry Redknapp. He said after that Kiev game he was at it, he's never heard a noise like that in a football stadium in his life. He's been all over the world.
Definitely. It was like, when it all back, it was some noise. And seeing the Celtic game, the big golf score to make it 2-2 when Graham Roberts was in goal, and Terry Butcher got sent off, said he thought the roof was coming off the stadium. Just that stadium just creates some atmosphere. Fantastic.
Aye. Obviously, a lot of the games still had the enclosure, so we still had some standing fans, but when it goes, mate. It's a great place to be. When it goes.
By the way, you picked a great game there. When Big Butcher gets sent off, unbelievable.
I was at it, Bridge. I was at it.
I suppose when you look back, Jaffa, the one last year when Hadji gets the winner
against Braga.
Aye.
That was electric, Locks. That was bouncing. It really was going that night as well. I was thinking about that one as you were chatting there.
Remember the game where, what was it, last year, the year before, we also scored the winner against the Polish mob? Where they're that big roly-poly goalie in their end. Remember the flares? It was a surreal night that night.
Last minute goal.
I don't know.
Aye, where you were so.
Aye, it was. Remember all the flare and you could see it, and it was.
They had that big banner up of the Queen, didn't they, in the corner?
That's right. It was weird that night. It really was a weird night, that one.
The last time I seen as many flares it was in Foxy's wardrobe.
No way.
Hey, Jaffa, is that you got your video on, pal?
I have.
Let me switch it off.
It's no that, Jaffa. He's taking a shade of you.
How's that, Bridge? Is that better?
That's it, bud. That's it. Well done.
Technical equipment is not my strong point. I'm not going to lie.
I'm trying to change my t-shirt in case you're looking at me.
Jaffa, there's a reason why we did the radio.
Ditto.
On the stadium, there's every Rangers fan knows it. They go in there and there's a bit of magic, and there is real magic, and it's great. It's just great. Love it. I love it when they all start singing. It's just great, and I don't care what they sing as long as they sing, and it really brings it up. I love it. I'm desperate to get back.
I love it when I love a Livingston game there. It's really good when there's a Livingston game there. I'd give you half certificate. I really would.
You're not a big fan of Livingston, are you?
Right, you went for 2-0 tomorrow night, Old Bernard. Did I hear you saying?
Aye, 2-0, mate.
2-1 for 2-1 for Robert. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bridges went for 1-0.
Hold it. Ah, okay, 1-0. Yeah.
How's it going for you, Jaffa?
I'm afraid I'm with Bridge, so I think it'll be tight, but 1-0 for me as well.
Yes, that'll be nervy. Looking forward to it. I just hope we get through to the last state of Europa League. I think is the draw Friday or Monday? Anybody know?
I think it's Friday, pal. I think it's Friday.
Right, okay. Oh, it's this season. If Cal's were done season, Old Bear.
Oh yeah, this would have been it, wouldn't it? It really would have been this. You couldn't have got a better season than this so far. I mean, it's super. So far, it is the best season ever. I love it. In my lifetime, I can't talk for the history of the club, but in my lifetime, it's the best season ever.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I have to agree with you, pal. I have to agree with you. Yeah. Just wonderful. You know, think back, there's 10 years of standing in all these bloody queues to try and get things done, get Rangers moving, and going to these stupid AGMs and the dreadful things that were happening. And we came through all that, forced it through. Just well done. Hats off to everybody that did it. Everybody. All the fans, even Ally McCoist.
Everything's going in the right direction. I mean, obviously there was a few teething problems, but this retail deal, Jaffa, with the Castor boys, it looks as if it's going to be a good partnership for the club.
Aye, Ox, I'm ultra excited about the future with Castor. I think we've only seen the beginning of it, of what they can do, and I can't wait to see what they get involved in with Edmondson House. And I mean, they're as good as their word. They've done everything they said they were going to do, and more, I have to say. It's just brilliant. It's brilliant. The amount of retail we must be moving must be ridiculous. It must be ridiculous. But great to see the figures. I'm looking forward to seeing the year-end figures for the club, and just to see what kind of impact it's had financially.
Aye. Well, where we would have been if we didn't have it at this time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And as you say, the future. I mean, I don't know where we're going to go with it. How many more shops are we going to open up? It'd be nice to see one in Belfast again, wouldn't it?
Very good. I love that. Brilliant.
What's up with you?
I'm laughing. I've looked at these. I hadn't seen these billboards. That's just fantastic. Sorry, guys. Can you see us now? Eh? Oh,
I thought you just got one of the jokes I cracked about.
No, I didn't mean it by anything like that. Oh, that is just absolutely fantastic.
But I just thought somebody haunted your mirror there.
I thought I had my camera back on.
Oh, this is brilliant. Oh, well done, Castor. Well done, I'll tell you that.
Oh, that made your night, Bridge, is it?
Oh, better never stops. Better never stop. Hashtag better never stop. Just brilliant. Well done, guys.
Brilliant, Bridge, eh?
Oh, yeah, just different class. Just different class.
Ox, do you think the way the Rangers support how loyal we've been, we're blown away the boys for Castor, do you think Mr. Bisgrove and the Rangers Football Club might in the future renegotiate the contract with Castor? Because I think the strips of the merchandise flying off the shelves, and these boys didn't know this was going to happen. And I think Rangers should be looking for a wee bit of a bigger profit in the future. Is that just me being greedy? Or is that just me looking out for my football club?
No, I mean, obviously we went into it for a 5-year deal, and the first year's nearly up. They might come in and say, we want to keep going for extend it for another year if you're happy, start the 5-year deal again. But obviously, if the terms are right, Mr. Bisgrove will be open to anything. But we'll be negotiating for a different place than we were before. Jaffa?
I think Robert, to just I don't know if you maybe recall, cast your mind back to what the actual terms of the deal were. It's actually a wee bit. There's a bit of a rider on it, and it's all linked towards numbers. So Rangers, in actual fact, will be getting extra from it. There was no ceiling on how much we could get. It was all down to how much kit we sold. Yeah, there was all the fees and stuff, and the numbers escape me just now. I just know it was circa 30 million over 5 years. That was the start.
It can go up to if we do it right, and the numbers it's outstanding. It can go right up to £9 million a season. Isn't it?
That's right. That was the number that I had in my head, was about 9 million a year, which would just be that's outrageous. That's staggering.
That's probably as much as all the rest of the football clubs get together.
Anyway, Bridgeman will reach that time of the evening.
Oh, you're joking. Oh, I'll tell you what, Oxford, I've so enjoyed tonight. It's just fabulous. Can I just say, well done to all the guys. Brilliant opinions, brilliant banter. Superb, well done. So looking forward to tomorrow night. Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly Rangers fans on here on Rangers Radio, every single one is, one more sleep and a possible nap. One more sleep and a possible nap for the Bridgeman. And we're going to watch the famous Glasgow Rangers. Everybody, keep it going for the Rangers for tomorrow night. I'm going for 1-0 mollification. Go for it. Everybody, keep it going. Keep it going for the Rangers, because we are the people.
Thanks to all the callers who joined us this evening. Thanks to Bridgeman and Albert for taking their time to come on the panel. Thanks to Fox and Old School Blue for doing the technicals. Young GB, who's been very efficient on the phone lines this evening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for taking part on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate all the banter and all the comments on there. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night at 7 o'clock with a pre-match show building up to the Slavia Prague game. Please stay at home, stay safe, and remember, we are the people. Take it away, Old School Blue.
From Argyle, so young, to Glasgow City, they come, seeking fortune and a new way of life. How could they know ambitions would grow? Such a beautiful story, and here's how it goes. 4 lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kit, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. still going strong. So hoist up your Rangers flags, sing with your heart and voice, celebrate the greatest club in the world. Let our history show what we already know. We are the Rangers, the greatest of all. For lads had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kid, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers are born. 54 titles, we're still going strong. For that's had a dream to start a football team. They had no money, no kid, not even a ball. They still carried on. The Rangers were born. 54 titles, but still going strong. 54 titles, we're still going strong.